Mauga is a very fun hero, but Blizzard decided to curse us with the reality that we only get to play with him for a few days before he is completely deleted from the game for an entire month. So with 16 hours left on the in-game timer until the Rapture comes and takes him back into heaven where he deserves to be, we thought that it would be funny to go through the entire roster of Overwatch heroes and go and try and combo every single ultimate with Maugas in quick play, and try to get at least one good clip of each of them before the clock struck 0 and Mauga was completely removed from the game. So we decided to start with the DPS heroes, starting first with Ass. Now this was a combo that required a few attempts to get right, mainly because it didn't work that well just because everybody is playing Mauga today. So even if we combo ultimates, the enemy team Mauga is probably inside of it, and he just kind of completely rolls Bob over. Both the passive where he gets over health upon dealing critical hits and his self-healing from his E ability both work against Bob. So Mauga's just able to absolutely roll him in a 1v1. We tried it like 4 different times, and we were basically only able to get a kill once. A singular kill out of like 4 different attempts. So I'll just show that now. Generally, the formula going forwards will be, I'll speak over the bad attempts and then show the good one without any voiceover at the end and with the in-game audio. So honestly, not a great ultimate combo. Probably would work a lot better if, you know, both teams were not running a Mauga, especially since putting an Ana inside of the barrier and putting the Bob outside would mean that Bob would be protected from Sleep Dart, but at least in our testing, it's like a 2 out of 5. Now for an ultimate combo that doesn't suck, Bastion. The other team's Lifeweaver basically died every single time, just because he was stuck in an enclosed space with 3 Bastion ults right on top of him. Basically just getting double solo ulted 3 times, except the Mauga was also in there, but he doesn't die to anything because he's Mauga, as a lot of people probably experienced for themselves. One attempt he did have his revenge though, as he treed and the tree actually blocked me from moving my targeting into where the Mauga ult was, but he died to a dragon being comboed with the Mauga ult anyways, so he didn't really win in that scenario either. But yeah, especially if you were to get a full team in it, it's a very destructive combo. I give it a solid 4 out of 5. Next up is Cassidy, probably one of the funnier combos just because the other team can't leave and it's just kind of hilarious. The good take we had was right away. The Lifeweaver used his tree and they all tried to hide behind it, but then my team's Mauga just destroyed the tree and left them all exposed to the high noon. Low-key feels kind of unethical, and that's a common theme about some of these ultimate combos, is that it just feels like you're bullying people. Next up we had Echo, and the problem with Echo was that Echo ult just gives her another hero's ultimate to use, so we decided to just use Mauga as our target because every team was running a Mauga. Knowing what we know now from testing stuff from making another Mythbusters video about Mauga, just as a small tip ahead of that video is coming eventually, but his ultimate does not stack. If there are multiple Maugas on the same team, if one uses his ultimate and then before it ends, if a different Mauga on the same team uses his ultimate, it will just delete the ultimate that the first Mauga used. So you can like extend the timer by using one after the first one has been destroyed, but we didn't know that. We kind of just stacked them. It did kind of work because we used one Mauga ultimate to build the other Mauga ultimate, but yeah, a pretty funny combo nonetheless. And at this point, we were kind of on a roll. It had only been a couple of hours and we had already gone through a good chunk of the DPS heroes in the game. Sometimes we were able to get multiple heroes in on one map just because we got a really good ultimate combo. And we're like, that's it, that's the money shot, and just move on to the next one mid-map. Genji is a prime example of one of those. Mauga ult Nano Blade. Genshi's brother Hanzo, on the other hand, took a couple of tries, mainly because the first attempt, our Mauga did not grab anyone with his ultimate, so just ultimate comboed the goddamn air. But the second attempt went much better, as you can see. Honestly, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. It seems pretty brutal, especially if you work on the positioning of the dragon. I feel like you could make it cover basically the entire Mauga ult. Now for hero with a 6 out of 5 ultimate combo, we have Junkrat. Tyre goes insanely hard with Mauga ult. It locks everyone in an enclosed space. Tyre deals a ton of damage, even at a decently far range. 6 out of 5 ultimate combo, always got at least a couple of kills every single time that we tried it. Next up is Mei, which is another extremely good ultimate combo. Blizzard covers the entire radius of the Mauga ult, so if you do it and there's no cover that the enemy team can use to break line of sight to the Mei ult to, you know, protect themselves from the freeze, it is extremely good. Just a solid 5 out of 5 ultimate combo right there. Very strong. Now this is the point in trying to do all these combos that it kinda started to slow down. Some of them just were not working well and required multiple attempts, and also the queue time started getting pretty long. Oftentimes we were waiting in queue for longer than we were in game, meaning that we had even less time to work with to try and get through every single hero. But we were committed and we were not going to stop until the Mauga Doomsday timer hit 0. The next ultimate combo we attempted was Pharah, which honestly felt like bullying, especially since the first time Mauga solo ulted an Iliari, who then got solo barraged because they were the only person in the ultimate. We did later get a much better ult. So yeah, it's a pretty good ult combo. I'd say like 3 out of 5, maybe 4 out of 5. Now for one of the best ultimate combos, Reaper. Similarly to Junkrat, I don't think there's a single take where we did this and it didn't work well. Even comboing it with the enemy Mauga's ultimate, it still did work and just kind of completely denied his ult. Just a very strong and fun ultimate combo. It is fun to see the fear in people's eyes as they try to run away from Reaper, but they are completely unable to because they are chained to the center of Mauga's ult. After that, we had Sojourn's ultimate, which was pretty okay. It just seems like you're at a little firing range. Everyone on the enemy team is just locked up and you're free to just railgun them into oblivion. Fun, but not the most lethal combo for sure. I'll give it 3 out of 5. Soldier 76 is kind of the same way. It's like, yeah, not really anything special, it just keeps them locked in an area while you visor them to death. Next up, we get Sombra's EMP, which is good just because it basically guarantees that your Mauga's going to be able to win the fight against the enemy team's Mauga if they both get stuck in the ultimate. Really, it just guarantees that your Mauga can shred the enemy tank regardless of what they are. Just the instant damage and abilities being knocked off for a second, just let Mauga go to town. On its own, I'd give it like a 3 out of 5. It can really do well when you combo it with a third ultimate just to guarantee the team wipe. So yeah, in total, I'd give it like a 4 out of 5. Symmetra, on the other hand, is really good. It just feels unethical. Just look at the enemy team and how helpless they are. They cannot escape or even fire back. It just feels wrong on a lot of levels. 5 out of 5 ultimate combo. The next combo we had was Torbjorn, who I honestly give like a 4 out of 5. You'd think it would be really good, but it was kind of just map choice and also, you know, results of playing against the enemy team and only really having time to get a couple of good attempts before moving on to the next hero, because we were running low on time at this point. Now the next hero we did was Tracer. Pulse Bomb does not really combo with Mauga ult because it doesn't get people close together, but honestly it did kind of work because I was able to stick the enemy team's KarQ, and because he was in Mauga's ult, she couldn't just swift step away and completely avoid the Pulse Bomb, so she just died to it. So 10 out of 10, actually let me Pulse Bomb a KarQ for once in my life. Do you want to see an ultimate combo that really does not combo? Yeah, Mauga ult and Widowmaker ult. "10 out of 5 ultimate, easily the strongest combo in the game." At least with the DPS heroes all done, we moved on to the supports, which are much easier for a couple of reasons. One, they're kind of boring because, I mean, it's a support ultimate. You kind of just put it in there and then it's kind of a success. Like, how are you going to measure how good a Transcendence combos with Mauga's ult? So, I mean, as long as you use these abilities at the same time, you could consider it a success. Which was good because we were starting to run low on time. And this is kind of, you know, the boring point before we get to the really fun ultimate combos when we go into open queue and combo all of the tank ultimates with Mauga's ultimate. That's when it's going to get fun. So starting with Ana, I'd say like 4 to 5 ultimate combo. As long as your Mauga doesn't get antied or anything, basically he's going to clear everyone in the arena. Just a very strong ultimate combo. Baptiste is a very similar story as well. Again, one of those combos that just felt unethical. It kind of just, your Mauga's able to just delete everyone who's stuck inside. There's nowhere to run from the window. You just put it right across the center. It's just kind of disgusting on a lot of levels. Probably 5 out of 5. Next up for Brig, it was honestly one of the weaker ultimate combos, just because we were playing against, you know, Mauga's always being the enemy tank. And then he has his funny little E button that he can press to give everyone on his team 30% damage resistance and 60% lifesteal. So the added damage from Brig didn't really do that much. Also, if the enemy Mauga used his ultimate, then you couldn't even stun people anymore. Three out of 5. Now, Iliadi's ultimate, on the other hand, felt really good to use. Probably solid 4 out of 5 ultimate combo. No one's able to escape the dome, and it's very easy to just hit everyone with your ultimate by aiming it at the center. Just a pretty damn strong ultimate combo. It's about this point that we started to reach the point of 4 hours left before we could no longer play Mauga, but most of these combos were taking a single map to really get a good attempt on. After that, we comboed it with KarQ's ult. So yeah, I feel like it's a strong ultimate combo. Next up, Lifeweaver combo. I give it like 3 out of 5. You just put a tree inside of the ultimate. Next up on the list was comboing Lucio ult with Mauga ult. This was the most scuffed one of all so far, because I was stuck at a grab when he ulted, and I beat it and I got to the ultimate. So technically the Lucio sound barrier was still existing in the Mauga ultimate, and I still got a kill in it. The next map we tried comboing Valkyrie with Mauga ult. You just kind of heal people and damage boost them through it. The one unique thing about it was that the second time we tried it, I was actually able to resurrect Mauga from outside of his own ultimate, and there was nothing the enemy team could do about it. So that was a pretty fun interaction. I'd give it like a 3 out of 5. Next up, we had Coalescence being comboed with Mauga ult. It's not that great of a combo. Zenyatta was easily the most messed up one out of all of them. Look, we were running out of time, and at least we tried. I mean, it's close enough. Finally, we move into the realm of nightmares that is doing tank combos, because this meant that we had to go into open queue. You could technically do this with an Echo duplicating the enemy tank, but you had no control over what the enemy tank was going to be, and it was going to be a Mauga 90% of the time anyways, so we had to go to open queue. This was easily the worst part because 1, the enemy team was almost always tanks, meaning some ultimates it was very hard to get kills with, and 2, queue times were very long. It was like 10 minutes for a game. We were bleeding time quickly with these last few, and I thought that we were not going to be able to make it, but we were still doing multiple attempts just to try and get a good one because these were some of the funniest combos. Diva Bomb with a Mauga ult, 5 out of 5 ultimate combo. It took a couple of attempts on a couple different maps, but eventually we did get the perfect combo, and it was probably one of the most disturbing things I've seen in my life. Doomfist, on the other hand, had a problem. I'm like 90% sure that something with his ultimate is bugged because we could not get a kill to save our life. Even when he was ulting right on top of a Lucio with Nano, it would not kill. It was just an ult combo that refused to work the way that we wanted it to. So 1 out of 5, probably one of the worst, even though you'd think it should be pretty good. Next after that was Junker Queen, 4 out of 5 ultimate combo. It's actually pretty good. Orisa is 5 out of 5. Probably the funniest one to do. Marblr ult I actually give a 2 out of 5. It did not combo well at all. This easily could have just been open queue, but like, where else are you going to be able to do this? But having so many tanks, Marblr just was not able to get any kills. Even with Nano, we had like 1 attempt where he was actually able to kill a couple people. Next up, Reinhardt. I give it like a 3 out of 5. It just traps people in an area and then you can just earth shatter them easily when they're all stacked on top of each other. It's not like you really need to do this, but you know, you can if you want to. It is an ultimate combo. It does something at least. Sigma, on the other hand, is actually a pretty cool ultimate combo with Maugas, because it actually covers almost the entire thing, meaning that you can flux an entire team, and because the barrier is around it, you can stay on the outside and be safe from, you know, sleep, any sort of stun that could knock you out of flux, and then just slam them all down for free. Winston, on the other hand, gets a 3 out of 5. It's funny. It certainly is funny. And it is kind of applicable. It's like, what if you could just primal someone into a corner forever? Three out of 5. Not a lot of lethality, but funny. Next up for Wrecking Ball, it's actually pretty decent. I'd give it like a 4 out of 5. First time we made the mistake of trying to ult from higher above, And then we realized if you just ult on the ground in the center of the Mauga ult, your mines basically perfectly cover the entire area of the Mauga ult. Now for a 5 out of 5 ultimate combo, Roadhog just kinda fucks with a Mauga ult. However, after Roadhog is where our story ends. The Mauga timer hit 1 minute remaining. There was no way that we were going to get into another game in time, especially with the 10-minute queue times, but we decided to try anyways, and pin our hopes on maybe getting one more Mauga game. And to our surprise, when we got in, after 10 minutes, it still said there was less than 1 minute left on Mauga, because as it turns out, the timer was wrong the entire time. Blizzard had the in-game timer a full 24 hours off of when they were actually disabling Mauga. So we didn't have to suffer through trying to stay up until like, 4 a.m. to try and do it and then try and finish it off the next morning. No, we could have just waited. There was never any rush to do this. It was just, why? Why do you put the in-game timer and have it be wrong and just not fix it? Like, how? But it made the challenge possible, so yeah, we finished off, we comboed Zarya ult with it. As you can guess, it's just not even an ultimate combo. It's two ultimates that do like the same exact thing. It's more of just a grab than it is, a combo, but it did something. Mauga killed 4 people and then heard the voice say a sextuple kill, so I don't know what happened there. Game must have really had some problems that day. But there is one tank missing that we have not comboed Mauga ult with yet, and that is our grand finale. We're going to combo Mauga ult with another Mauga ult. Knowing what we know now that they don't actually stack, it was kind of silly, but we still did it, and it was amazing. Just take a look at the beauty of what happened when we stacked 3 Mauga ults together. That's right, we somehow broke the entire server, and it had to restart. I cannot think of a better thing to end this on after trying to play way into the morning hours to try and get this done, then finding out that none of that was necessary. It was all something we could have done the next day as well, easily. And then to use 3 Mauga ults in succession and have it just crash the server. Truly a miracle has happened today. And that is the end of the story. So I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who liked and subscribed the previous video, because I don't know what the hell happened. It got really favored in the algorithm or something. Too many people watched it. So yes, there will be a part 2 of testing Mauga stuff, and it's going to involve cars and also other forms of transportation. There might even be 2 more parts to it if I have too much stuff to reasonably fit in one video. I'd rather have, 2 14 to 15 minute videos than one that's like half an hour long. And also more Mauga stuff. Basically spent the entire rest of the time after we did the ultimates doing more stuff with Mauga. Basically just spent the entire last 3 days just exclusively collecting Mauga footage. So there will be, a few more videos on him that focus more on specific gameplay interactions, as well as other things that could help people actually play the new hero when he eventually comes back to us. So yeah, more funny Mauga content will come. So please like and subscribe for more Mauga Overwatch, and until next time, see ya.